I come from a Welsh-speaking family, a Welsh family. I was influenced by my mum, who really was passionate about Welsh politics. So really for me, she was a great role model. And then the issue around child poverty, families living in dire situations, really influenced me. And, you know, I tried to do something about them individually when I was a social worker. But actually what I wanted to do was to see a change in policy across the board.
My motivation for standing was not seeing enough women in politics, seeing lots of mediocre men perhaps be elected and selected and thinking that they didn't represent me, that they weren't fighting on the issues that mattered to me, mattered to my community. And I'm someone that believes that, yes, you can complain, and it's really easy to do on social media now, or you can actually do something about it. So that was my motivation for standing.
I thought it was very important that women who had some experience of politics, like I did as a councillor, should put themselves forward at that time to be an MP, because I thought, well, if I don't do it, who is going to do it? Because a very small group of women on the council, and it just seemed really important that all the things I was interested in, and I know many women are interested in, you need somebody there to speak up for those issues. So I stood as an MP and went up to Westminster, one of only 4 women out of 40 to go, so very much in the minority. And things have improved since then, but it was a good time to go because about 100 women were elected, first time there'd ever been a substantial number of women. So those are the reasons I stood as an MP at that time, to try to get a woman's voice in. And also I was very keen on devolution, and so I wanted to be there to try and get devolution through, which of course we did.
So the core reason for me wanting to become a politician was to give something back. I owe Wales a lot. It made me who I am. It gave me a great foundation for life, and I want to create that same foundation for people like me from various different races, religions, backgrounds, and socioeconomic backgrounds as well.
I think I decided to stand for the Senedd because I felt very passionately about a lot of things that I felt were not working for people in the area where I live and which I now represent. So I'm very passionate about equality. I speak on equalities for Plaid Cymru, and I could see that there was both socioeconomic inequality and also equality linked with gender happening, and I'd lived that apart in my own life, I suppose. You know, I first, after children, got back into the labour market through job sharing, but that was very novel at the time. There was no question then in the pre-COVID days of working from home. And I found childcare a real struggle. In fact, I had to take time off work because I couldn't afford the childcare. When you know, my husband and I had to decide who was going to remain in employment. His job was a little bit more flexible than mine, so that's the decision we took. But it was really, you know, not a great decision in a way. And, you know, not everyone should be forced to have to take that decision. And also, I had the experience of having to give up a job that I love very much when my father became ill with Alzheimer's disease. So I saw again the position of unpaid carers and the pressure that puts on women specifically, unfortunately, still in our society. So all those things really motivated me to come into elected politics and to speak about those things and bring my experience to the table.
I first stood for election to be a county councillor back in 1995, and I won, surprisingly, on a very female-driven agenda. I was a mother of a young son then and teenage daughters, and I just didn't see anybody talking about family life, about the things that affected basically women and children. So I thought I'd give it a go, and was amazed when I won.